WEFM, the new fresh sound. Activated mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 9:22 this morning, soon to be 9:23. You're listening to Ari, and with me in studio is Christal, Doc Thompson, and we have our special guest this morning, Mr. It Works himself. Curtis Bascom, the manager of My Smart Toilet Seat. Now, if you're an avid listener to WeFM, you know My Smart Toilet Seat ad. It comes on quite a lot here at WeFM. And in case you're curious as to what it is, Mr. Bascom is here to answer all your questions this morning. 457-9997 is the number to call, and the number to WhatsApp, 457-9997, where you can also place calls. We're live on YouTube and Facebook at WeFM99SVG. So good morning, Mr. Bascom.
Hey, good morning, guys. Pleasure to be here this morning.
And it's a pleasure to have you. So tell us more about yourself and how you got into the smart toilet game.
All right, I'm Curtis Bascom. I'm the manager for My Smart Toilet Seat. The office here is in Kingston. You know where Bickles downtown is?
Right.
The blue building right on the corner, Bickles.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the third floor of that building, right above Dr. Boyle's office.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we can be reached at 457-1703 or 494-4314. Of course, you can come and visit us at the office, and we're going to give you a tour. We're going to show you all the options we have. We're going to explain what the smart toilet does, what it's all about, and you can also test it in office.
Test it in office.
Yes.
Can I use the bathroom?
Okay.
Absolutely. So that you can experience firsthand what it's all about. Now,
I'm trying to compose myself
All right.
for this conversation, right? Let's go.
So to answer Ari's question, how did I get into this?
Mm-hmm.
Now, years ago, I spent a year in India doing a course. And that was my first exposure to washing versus wiping.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I didn't have this kind of technological advancement that I offer you now. It was a squat toilet, here's a bucket of water and a jug, and then you bathe when you're finished. But then washing was so much better than wiping because there's certain discomforts that resulted from using paper, and not all papers are created equal. So us guys, especially, even though we keep a stiff face, stiff upper lip, we are having the little irritations, the itchings, as we say, you chafe at the back when you're done, but we man up and we never express it, and we don't want to change what we're doing. But don't you worry. If you don't have to suffer an issue, why suffer it? So My Smart Toilet Seat is here to the rescue. Now, what it's all about, it's about, some people familiar with a bidet. Now, a bidet is a special piece of like a toilet-like apparatus strictly for women.
You know, I thought that was pronounced bode.
No?
Bidet. Okay.
Bidet. Yes, French.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So now what you do is that we can convert your existing toilet. So you don't need a whole new one with new plumbing and space and all of that. Into a smart toilet by giving you that washing functionality. Now you don't even have to use your hands, because unlike the bidet, you had to actually take the little shower thing in your hand and use the other hand to do the cleaning of yourself. Here with the smart toilet, you simply sit on your toilet seat as you're accustomed to. When you've done your business and you're ready to clean yourself, you turn the nozzle and you turn the knob. The appropriate nozzle is going to come out, directed either at front or at the back, whichever one you choose, and a nice shower of water, clean water from your main, not tank water, not any other contaminated source, but the clean water in your line from CWSA. The appropriate nozzle is going to come down, and it's targeted to either back or front, according to which you choose, and it washes you clean. Now, when you're finished, you're controlling the pressure of the washing tool with that knob. So it's up to you. You tune it in to what you like. So when you're finished, all you do, you take your tissue now, and you just simply pat dry the excess moisture, similar to what you do when you come shower with a towel.
Right.
And you are good to go.
You against splashing.
It's very targeted. So it's going to be contained right there in that space it's intended to clean.
Okay.
You're not splashing like in a shower, your whole skin wet down in it. That does not happen. Make sure that you are sitting. Let me emphasize this. You must be sitting on the seat so that it can do its job properly. There are a number of cases where persons have stood up and said, and then they have a shower shooting all up into the roof. Please, you must be seated.
Okay. Doc, what are your thoughts on this product?
Well,
The mic.
You have to shift your
mic,
I
Doc.
have to put my microbiology hat on. There, for in the medical field, we tell women that when you wipe yourself from the front, go back, as opposed to from the back, go to the front, because you don't want to move bacteria from around the anus to the vaginal area, because especially in the female where you have a short vaginal tract, it is one of the more important ways why women come down with a lot of cystitis and urinary tract infection. And we've ignored men for a long time. Just what you said, it's taboo even to talk about this subject on radio. I mean, I'm sure some people may be turned off, but it's so important. And wiping with paper still leaves some residue of the bacteria and would leave some element of a smell and so forth there too, because of what is there. And I know it's tough talking about these things. And so by washing, and in a number of cultures, Muslim culture, and so they use water. They walk over with a little bottle of water. Ari, if you were in Taiwan, you used to walk over with a bottle of water.
No.
Okay, let me see. But I want to tell you, do you know a culture that really promoted this? Between about the 8th or 9th century and the 14th century, the Moors had conquered a good part of Europe, Spain and so forth, and they brought in a lot of, the Moors are black people who got to a lot of hygiene issues. And then times, people in Europe never used to bathe and all that kind of thing and so forth so often. And the Moors introduced a lot of these sanitary things, clean water, irrigation, all that kind of things. And that helped put out a lot of the things that came in the latter part of the plague, the bubonic plague and all those sort of things. Oh, I can tell you all about it. But this sounds very interesting.
Will you try it, Doc?
I've heard about it.
Have you tried it? Have you tried it?
When I went in other parts of the world, yes, I did. And since it's was not available here, and I've been hearing about it, and to be truthful, I did not investigate properly. Now you've said it. I'm in the market. You know, I'm gonna look to get one of these things. You know.
Well, there's your guy right there.
I'm gonna look to get one of these things.
Come on.
You know, you have a card and all that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You know,
Don't worry about that, Doc.
I like the idea. And I want to tell people it is a bit squeamish talking about this. But when you're in the privacy of your bathroom, nobody's around and so forth.
Hopefully.
It is going, for females, it is going to be true, a continuation of those good hygienic practices. For men, we are sweaty and rugged and so forth. And I think that it's going to be a good thing in terms of male hygiene as well.
Okay.
And I like the idea.
Larry has
I'm
a
going to be checking
smirk
this
on his
stuff out.
face.
I don't know. I don't know about the cost involved and so forth.
Affordable.
Affordable.
The guy is here, so he can.
So
tell
what is
us.
the cost?
Now we have various options.
Closer to the mic.
We have various options, and this is why at the beginning I said people normally thought that you needed a complete new toilet. You do not. We have options such as the attachment that goes for $150.60. It is, you simply add it to your toilet. You're not changing anything on the toilet you bought. If you want to change out your toilet seat, because sometimes your toilet seat itself gets broken, damaged, doesn't look nice, there's the complete seat non-electric seat, these two options I'm talking about,
Mhm.
non-electric options, the complete seat would be $272.60.
Mhm.
Now we have electrical seats. That is at $580, and we have different levels of them.
So what's the difference?
The electrical seat, no, you must plug it in, and you must have an outlet in your bathroom, and
Mhm.
there's a specific outlet that Vinlec specifies. That is the ground fault type outlet. Electricians know what that is.
Mhm.
And the seat plugs in directly, so it heats the seat, it heats the water, and it blow dries you when you're done.
Listen,
So if you don't want to use toilet paper, you don't really have to.
I'm at the salon.
Absolutely.
Bums at a salon.
Right now, to just make a point of what Doc was saying there, us guys, we ignore the fact that we might actually harm ourselves using toilet paper, because back there it's supposed to be moist, but the toilet tissue, no matter how good a quality you have, it is dry. So you are
Sandpaper.
drying an area that's intended to be moist. So that is a problem. Now, persons who have hemorrhoids, for example, and this I learned from an Indian doctor, who she indicated that jet of water, it soothes that tissue and helps to shrink the swelling. So it provides relief without some necessary medical intervention,
Especially if it's warm.
especially if it's warm. You know, so these are added benefits you get to the product, in addition to the hygiene that Doc was talking about.
So you said an area that's meant to be moist. You mind expanding on that?
For example, in your mouth, is your mouth intended to be dry?
No.
Of course. Well, it's exactly those areas of your body. That's naturally what they are. Doc could expand about mucosa and all of this kind of thing. That's beyond me. But the fact is, for them to function properly, they need to be moist. Why then do we experience burning and irritation and itching and so on at the end of using the tissue?
I do believe that is the texture and the quality of some tissues.
Yes, it plays a part, but also it's doing the drying in addition to the texture and so
Okay.
on, as you mentioned.
So you remember
That's interesting.
when the Charmaine was a nutritionist, she had
Mhm.
said that when you defecate, it should be moist. If your feces are dry, it means that you're unhealthy. But speaking for myself,
Mhm.
I think it's an uncomfortable feeling if you're feeling moist back there on a
Like-
regular day. I prefer dryness.
Oh, this conversation is going somewhere.
Well, this is the topic. This is the topic.
No, well,
like,
well,
but there are different levels of moisture, right?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's not dry like a desert.
Precisely.
It has
Okay.
to have some level of moisture
Precisely.
there.
Precisely.
All right.
Ooh,
But Christal,
boy.
have
Yes,
you?
please.
You're the only. You're the only.
I'm the only
um,
female here. Uh-huh.
You were recommending that is one method of cleaning, and that you don't necessarily have to use toilet paper to do it. But if you want to use toilet paper to dry yourself,
Yes, you can.
there's nothing wrong with
There's
that.
nothing wrong with it at all.
So that it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to walk away wet.
mhm.
And
You
dripping.
basically could
Correct.
still use the toilet paper to dampen it and damp it off and
Mhm.
so forth.
Mhm.
And I think that is what our culture is likely to do. Other cultures may be more attuned to staying a little wetter than normal. But I think, knowing Harry,
Mhm.
he would want to still dampen off a little bit of the toilet
Well,
paper
and
to make
that's-
up.
and that's
But he is getting the
perfectly
benefit, the double benefit of being
Absolutely.
clean,
Byron, the body
much
stopping
cleaner,
you.
and still drier at the same time.
Absolutely.
You understand, Harry?
The doc said no in Ari. Christal, you're the only female in the room. Have you used the toilet?
Yes, I am.
You-
I've tried it.
You hear that song?
Yeah,
You
she
hear that song?
smiled.
And you see that
Yes,
smile?
I
That's
have.
a smart toilet seat smile.
And it works.
And it works.
You know, funnily, right? I was a little bit apprehensive. I was like, you kidding me? We got one of those. And then I tried it and I giggled. I literally laughed in the toilet, in the bathroom, sorry. So is that a common response from people who try it in store?
Well, when I saw you this morning and I introduced myself to you, you came out with a certain smile, and I said,
She's tried it.
that's a smart toilet seat smile, right? Because honestly, that's the reaction that we get.
Okay.
So that's why too we're encouraging a lot of guys to put aside that other thought that you have. It's not what you think it is. Because they too, when they've gotten past that hurdle, they come out like
The laughing
wow.
hurdle.
Oh, I'm telling you, they did like, oh my God. No, they come out like, wow, but this is great. And that's exactly, we want to make sure everybody gets that benefit. Now, let me add at this juncture, where do you get your smart toilet seat? You can, of course, come to the office in town, as I described where the location is. You can. We also have a number of outlets throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have them from Chateaubelair all the way up to Georgetown.
Oh, yeah?
Some 16 in total. You're gonna recognize them from there's an orange My Smart Toilet Seat flag at each of these locations, so you know the product is being sold there. We also have about 4 hardwares in town that participate with us. They're Gibson's, both at Victoria Park and on Bay Street. We have Lanes, that is the section up at where KCCU is up that side. We have Miners on Fountain Stretch, and we have General Hardware also on what VG Highway you call it.
Okay.
Now, also to make things accessible, you talked about cost. I indicated some of the costs, which you realize they're not very expensive. And even if you were to go online, you're not going to be as competitive as the prices we have. I can challenge anybody with that.
Okay.
Now, we also, coming up, we plan to do a 7-day no obligation trial. But I'll give you more information on that as the time for that promotion comes around. What it's about. It allows you to have the use of the item in your home for a period of 7 days. We'll come, if you agree, we'll come and put it in for you. You evaluate it in your home 7 days. If you like it, then we arrange payment, whether it's payment plans or the like. Or if you don't agree, then we'll come and remove it, no cost to you.
Okay.
That's interesting. Ari?
Well, we have a very balanced panel here. There's you, the manager. There's Doc, who is the doctor, and there's Christal, who's the user, and the only woman in the room. And then there's me, the audience that you're trying to pull in. Now, I can tell you, my first introduction to a wet bathroom was Taiwan, and my first introduction to a squat toilet was also Taiwan. These are all things I was like, what's this?
Interesting.
This is the first time I saw a toilet on the floor. You squat and you do your business, and then you keep it going. Now, the first time I went to Taiwan was 2016, and in the hotel they had the Japanese smart toilet seats with the big handle at the side. So I'm curious. I'm like, what's this boy? And I tried. I'm like, okay, that's different.
Definitely.
But
it was good, wasn't it?
It was different.
But in a good way.
I don't know how I feel about it. No, I'm being honest. I don't know how I feel about it, and I've felt more comfortable going to the shower and showering, and if there's moisture introduced, do it that way, or dampen the toilet tissue that I would use. Now, what would you say to me with it, given that is my personal feeling and that's my preference? What would you say to me if I'm coming to you and I'm considering trying my toilet seat?
Well, here's the thing. Of course, your preference is your preference, and I cannot override that in you. What I can do is offer you alternatives to what you're doing as just as effective. And at the end of the day, if you don't have to suffer an inconvenience, why? Because here's the thing. When you use your tissue, because we've encountered people saying to us, no, I'm old school, I prefer to use my tissue, and that is fine. But let us look at the dynamics of what you're doing here. You wipe once, oops, I don't think I got everything. You wipe again, and you apply a little more pressure. With the resulting, we talked about drying, and you, as you pointed out, not all toilet tissues are created equal. Some are quite abrasive. So what have you just done there? You've just abraded a very sensitive area of your body. Okay. You get off, you go to the shower because that's your relief. You still have to get in there with your soap and your water, what have you. You're still going to dry with your towel, right? But you've already inflicted the damage on yourself. If then you say, okay, I don't wipe and I go straight to the shower, but you're carrying what should be in the toilet into the shower with you to wash it. I don't think we want that. So here it is. Your technique, you sit, you wash. If you want to go from there straight to the shower, fine. And you do what you normally do. It's just a convenience for you to avoid damaging yourself. And sometimes, as I said, you dressed, you're ready to run out. Oops, I gotta go before. Then what do? You want to strip and go into the shower again. So this avoids all of these things, even it's your own technique.
Okay.
A call was trying to come through, but I have a question. In terms of installation, you said that they're sold at different, like 16 different outlets across the island. So if I go in and buy one, do I need a representative from My Smart Toilet Seat to come and install it? Could I install it myself?
Absolutely. It's that simple that it can be a DIY, or you can get your own plumber, or we can recommend, because we work with independent plumbers where we line you up with them and they'll charge like a $50 fee to put it in.
Okay.
But you can do that on your own, depending on what your resources are, your skill level.
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely gonna get somebody. Website.
All right. So the call that I was trying, try one more time. We have a few minutes left in the segment, but you know, I'll say though, what I found funny, because I try to be as objective as possible, even in my own reasoning, where I would try to take myself out of my own body and assess a situation. What I think is funny is I feel this way. That I've been in Taiwan, I have tried it, I don't know how I feel about it. But if it is that I'm experiencing diarrhea, the first thing I'm going to do is not to wipe, it's to shower.
There you are. So you see?
Yeah. So even though I'm saying, okay, maybe not this method, I'm still trying the method regardless. It's an interesting thought.
So let us consider. At home, you have all those things available to you, right? So you're here at the station. Let's say the station doesn't have a shower, but you have a smart toilet seat, and then some diarrhea got the better of you. You see?
Right?
Just wash it, man.
Just wash
Me
it.
and my
wash
vehicle be
it.
dancing with the devil. Trying to figure out. But I don't think it's a bad product. I do think it's good when we have the call coming in.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dave Roberts on the line. And when it comes to hygiene, I am very, very concerned about hygiene, because my experiences in life would have made me encounter with the other sex talking about the woman, you know, and giving me a better appreciation, understanding of how we all function. Nobody, when it comes to that particular part of our bodies, would clean. There is no standard, if that's the word I can use, when it comes to cleaning ourselves. Now, I see this, I hope, as an improvement in our hygiene in terms of taking care or making sure our bodies are cleaned properly. Because your hands are in all kinds of things. Your hands go all kinds of different places and so on. But I say that because hands are never clean. Hands are never too clean, maybe I should emphasize. So your hands, and sometimes you don't even take notice until you might feel some burning sensation or something. I'm speaking real life here. And I'm one of those persons who is not afraid to speak about things that affect us, and from different cultural backgrounds. Especially if you meet a woman from a man and a woman, I mean, you know, different cultural backgrounds. You learn all these things. So I am just, maybe it's too late coming into our kind of practice in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I don't know who well, the person is there, but I'm just curious about what caused them to bring this to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And like I said, maybe we are too late with this, but better late than never. And since Christal said she had the experience, I remember this came up some time ago and she told me to try it. So maybe I might just have to follow her and get myself organized with that. But I am very... Hello?
I said, yes, Dave. I gave you a round of applause.
So I think it's a good thing. except it will take some time, because if I can talk about the paper and all of that, I mean, not every time I go to the washroom I feel comfortable. And I'm sure that is the experience of many others.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not every time you go, because sometimes things don't happen as you would like it. Sometimes there's problem in stooling and all of that, and the doctor should know about that. So I welcome it. It's just that the affordability and all of that and getting accustomed might be a problem at first for some of us. But I welcome it. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you.
One guy for the goal.
But yeah, it's two. We have doctor.
Doctor.
And you know, the funny thing is, I thought the persons around Dave's age and Doc's age, they would have been less interested in trying it, but they seem quite open to it. It's
Really? Here's the interesting thing, right? The older folks think it's some technological complexity until you actually show them. My mother uses it, and my mother's 82. She had that idea until she started doing it. And it's like, wow, this is great. You know?
Okay.
But even if you have people with like limited mobility, you know, you can flex, or persons who need assistance. Imagine you helping to clean someone who can't. This now you can sit them down, save some of their dignity as well. You know?
Yep. You're very correct. So once again, for let the listeners know how they can get in contact with you. If you have social media, if there's a number they can call, let us know. How do we purchase a smart toilet seat?
All right. As I mentioned, we have the 16 outlets plus the 4 hardware, which I mentioned before. You also could come to the office on Bay Street, next to the old Anglican school. That blue building, you're gonna see the orange flag on the building. It's next to Bickles downtown, because that's easy to find on the 3rd floor of that blue building. You can call us at 457-1703 or 494-4314. Sorry. We are open weekdays from 9 to 5, Saturdays 9 to 12. You can also log on to our website, www.justwashit.com, as one word. It has a strange pronunciation. And that site is also like an online store, but you can actually see a lot of details on the product itself. You can purchase it online at that point as well. We have payment plans. You could do like a layaway where you pay according to what you can afford, and when you finish, then we have it there. It's ready for you.
Okay.
Installation is easy. Chances are, with your skill, you might be able to do it yourself, or we can assist you with a plumber to install.
Okay. And what are your social media handles?
We don't have the Facebook as yet, but we're getting there. We're working on it.
Okay.
I also want to remind that coming up soon, which I'll give some more information on, is our 7-day no obligation trial.
All right, lovely. Just wash it. My smart toilet seat. You've heard it for quite some time. You've heard the ad playing. Be sure to go and check them out and just try it. Trust me, just try it.
Just try it.
Just try it. Is